Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you a few things on how to get your lawnmower ready to go for spring. So stay with me, I'll show you a few little hints that I picked up over the years. Okay, there it is. Only thing I've done so far is take out the air cleaner. Might as well show you the air cleaner while I'm here. This is it. You see it's a little bit dirty. I usually just fold it open with my fingers and look and see if it's got plugged up. As you can see, there is some debris down in there, so I'll probably put a new air cleaner on it. The filter element, I should say. This one doesn't have a pre-filter, and I may go ahead and put the pre-filter on it. That just takes out the big chunk so it doesn't plug it up like with all this dust. Your model number right there. It's a Troy-bilt made by MTD. Honda engine. This is the clutch for the front wheel drive. The cable's broken off on the end. So you need to get to the end of the cable that's broken. So it's down here on the end of the mower. Take out this screw. There's a screw over here. Then once I get the screws loose, you'll see these little tabs right here. You see them? They go right in a slot. You can just take a screwdriver and push in on them, and it'll push in enough that you can pop it out of there. So basically it's two screws. We take it off. This is the cable. It's broken. It's supposed to have a little S hooker on there. And when I took this off, I noticed that the spring was off. It was laying right up in here. So I went ahead and went to go put it back on. It was pretty loose, so I went ahead and just took my needle nose pliers and bent it a little bit more to give it a little bit of tension when it's all the way off. And how this works is the clutch pulls and it actually tilts this thing up and tightens up the belt. While I had it off, I looked at it. I'm looking at it here to see if the belt looks okay. There's no cracks in it, so I'm not going to replace it. And it is, if you push down on this far enough, it can get the belt tight, so there's no reason to replace it. While I was in here, I'm going to fold back these little covers and look in here and make sure the teeth inside these wheels are good. Before I work on a mower, I always take out the spark plug. I'm going to replace it anyway. You might as well take it out and be safe. Without that spark plug, it's not going to start on you. Another little hint is I put one of these little cheap hoists, electric hoists in my garage. I look real high. You'll see it up there. Mounted on a big piece of pipe. That way I'm hooked onto about 4 rafters. If you look real close, there's a little tiny rag there. It dripped a little bit of oil after I used it about a year. I didn't want to get on my automobiles or anything else, so I just hung a little piece of rag up there. Easy fix. It comes down. It'll lift up. It's pretty good. It'll lift up more than I want to hook to the top of my garage. Let's put it that way. So this really makes it easy to work on things. I don't have to block it up or anything and to hold it up. Now I got the engine up and I got it up where I can see. I'm going to fold this back with my finger. This is just a piece of plastic. And look inside there. And make sure those teeth are not ground almost flat. And they're fine. Both sides. I'm taking off the blade right now. Looking up in here, looking for the, while I got it up in the air, I'm going to look for the drain plug for the engine. Sometimes they're kind of hard to find. I went ahead and sharpened the blade, balanced it. Balancing means, well, it means balancing, but just to give you an idea. Basically, if you pivot it in the middle, it should hang straight across. I have a little blade balancer. You set it on there, but this is a pretty good indication that it's, if you don't have one, you can just hang it up. Make sure you're going through the center of the mounting bolt hole, and make sure it doesn't tilt one way or the other. It should hold horizontal. This is what it's supposed to look like when it's back on. This particular mower has what they call a bow tie style mounting hole. It's kind of like a square, a rectangle I should say. It looks kind of like a bow tie if you look real close. And it also has a little spring washer there that allows this drive pulley up there, you can see it, to realign itself if it has to, rather than just sit there. It's got a little bit of movement it could have if the belt pulls on it one way or the other. Kind of a nice little setup. I don't know if you can see it in there. There's basically a spring washer with a large flat washer on each side of it. What holds that all together is this one bolt right here. On this one, it just happened to be a 5/8 wrench to take it off. Whenever you're putting the blade on, you got to look for this little curve. See how the blade is curved. That curve should be up. That's what actually gives it a suction to suck it up. Suck the grass straight up so it cuts it nice and even. And a lot of times people put them on upside down. Another way to know if you got it on right is you pull on the cord a little bit, make sure the spark plug's out, and see which way the blade moves. And it should be moving with the sharp edge first. In other words, it should be moving like this. See, that's the sharp edge. It's very important to keep the blade sharp. If you ever cut anything with a dull knife, and then go ahead and sharpen a knife and see how much easier it is. You're really going to work these engines if you let it get too dull. Must be spring. I found a little bug here underneath the mower. On this Honda engine, I couldn't find a drain plug underneath it or on the side. So rather than keep looking and waste my time, I just took out the dipstick and tilted it over and dumped it in. You can do it any way you like. Some people have these little drill operated pumps. You can pump it down in and pump it out. I prefer to have a hole in the bottom to get every little bit out, but hey, this works. There's a spark plug. You go to put this on, basically on anything with aluminum engine like this. Actually, I use it on every engine. Put some never sees on your spark plug threads so you won't be stripping the holes trying to get it out if you forget to change it one year.